Welcome back to the Recipe for Crime. This is my private archive, the cases that were too dark for the dining room and too strange for the evening news. Today we're opening a new folder in the secret files. Put down your fork, listen closely, and let's find out what's really cooking in the shadow.
Most people die with a name, a family, or at least a wallet. But when the Somerton Man was found, he had none of those. Instead, he had a half-smoked cigarette on his collar and a mystery that would baffle the world for 74 years. Today, we finally uncover the ingredients of his life and his lonely end. Welcome to the Recipe for Crime. Today, we're deconstructing Australia's most baffling cold case. For 70 years, he was just the Somerton Man. No name, no records, just a series of clues that felt like they were plucked from a spy novel. Everyone thought he was a spy. They thought the Tamam Shud note was a secret code. But, as we're about to find out, the truth is far more heartbreaking than any spy thriller. Hit the subscribe button, like, and share the video, because this story is one of the most interesting stories you will ever hear. On December 1st, 1948, the investigation started with the impossible. Every single tag had been cut out of his clothes. His pockets held tickets for a train he never boarded and a bus he never should have taken. No wallet, no ID, just 7 cigarettes of a different brand, Kensitas, hidden inside an Army Club pack. 4 months later, a second search found a tiny fob pocket sewn into the waistband of his trousers. Inside was a scrap of paper torn from a rare book of Persian poetry. It bore 2 words, Tamam Shud, meaning, "It is finished." The police found the book the paper was torn from in the back of an unlocked car. Inside the cover, a telephone number for a local nurse and a 5-line code that has never been broken. Experts from the FBI and Scotland Yard were stumped. Was it a cipher, or just the ramblings of a broken mind? The medical report was just as strange. He had the wedge-shaped toes of a dancer and massive calf muscles. His spleen was 3 times its normal size, filled with blood. The coroner was convinced it was poison, but it had vanished without a trace. In 2022, the mystery finally broke. Professor Derek Abbott used a single hair from a 70-year-old death mask to find a match. The Somerton Man was Carl Charles Webb, a Melbourne electrical engineer who loved 2 things: horse racing and poetry. In the end, Carl wasn't a spy. In fact, he was a man whose life had spiraled after a divorce, who likely traveled hundreds of miles to find his wife, only to end his story on a quiet beach. Carl Webb wanted his story to end on that beach. Instead, it became a legend. Then what about the code? Probably just his shorthand for betting on horses. What do you think? Is the case truly closed, or are there still secrets in those scribbled letters? Let me know in the comments. And always remember to subscribe for more deep dives into the Recipe for Crime. Some recipes don't end with a villain, just a tragedy. Take care until next recipe.